Hello again. Um, Today I'm doing my initial review, which is a 100-mile review on the Brooks Hyperion Max. I bought these myself on a Black Friday discount from Dick's Sporting Goods for 65 bucks, which I thought was a really good deal. Um, Disclaimers: Brooks does not know I exist. Um, Again, I generally don't want to do an initial review at less than 100 miles because I want to give it some time to formulate my thoughts. Um, let's see. Start with the upper. Uh, the upper is a soft woven material. Um, I'm in Southern California, but I run early in the morning, so I have not run in hot weather yet. And it's January as I'm doing this, but it feels cool through my toes on a chilly morning. Very good stepping comfort, decent, not excessive padding, but a decent amount of padding around the heel collar. Um, I waver between a 10 and a 10 and a half, depending on the brand. I got these in a 10 and a half, but I actually tried on later. I tried on the Hyperion in a 10, and they fit me just fine. And there's quite a bit of room in front of my longest toe here, so I think I could have gone down to a 10. So next time I buy Brooks, I may go to a 10. The tongue it's soft on the inside. It's got this soft velvety kind of texture on the inside, but it looks a little bit plasticky on the outside. It has a little bit of padding here, just to avoid lace bite, but it's generally, you can see it's generally quite thin. It's not gusseted, but I haven't had any issues with migration. And these laces, these flat laces, they lay down really nice. Um, if I did have issues with migration, it does have this little thing on the tongue that I suppose I could thread the laces through that and would probably make it a little bit more secure, but it hasn't really been an issue. Has a very solid heel counter for such a light shoe and this sort of elf heel type design. So no problems with lockdown, even if it is a little bit roomy in the forefoot. The midsole. So Brooks' website actually doesn't give a stack height on these, but Running Warehouse lists them at 34 in the heel and 26 in the forefoot for a men's size 9 at 7.8 ounces. They don't feel like an 8 millimeter drop. I think partially because it's got this significant heel bevel here, which when you squish down, I think you don't have as much foam there supporting the heel, and also because this foam seems like at the higher stack areas, it seems like it compresses more than where there's less foam. So it really doesn't feel like an 8 millimeter drop. It feels actually very similar to the drop on the new Citri 14, which is 5. Brooks uses their DNA Flash midsole, which is a supercritical EVA. This is a very firm shoe. If you want a soft shoe, this is not the shoe for you. Okay, cannot emphasize that enough. If you don't like a firm shoe, you are not going to like this shoe. I think the foam did soften a little bit after about 70 miles, but it's still a firm shoe. There's also a difference as far as when, like, how I'm running. So first of all, I'm only 130 pounds. So I'm not coming down with a whole lot of force. Somebody larger might experience this shoe a little bit differently. Um, but if I'm running with like a quick shuffling cadence, then I'm not really feeling much compression at all. Mostly, I'm just feeling the roll through from the rocker shape. Um, if I do run with more force, then I do feel it doesn't compress a lot, but I saw in another video's comment section somebody described it as a Boeing factor. So it's not like bouncy the way that you would think of bouncy, but it is responsive and it feels like it's propelling me forward. So Brooks uses what they call their rapid roll technology, which is the rocker profile, and it really rolls me through my stride, even though I'm probably half a size too long, but I'm still hitting a good spot. Um, the toe spring really doesn't turn up sharply until after I hit the ball of my foot, but then if I come down and it just rolls me right forward. Um, so it has a much sharper angle than as opposed to, because it's more of a late stage rocker compared to what you might see in like a Hoka shoe, which their rockers start further back as a much more gradual sloping. The outsole. So as you can see if you can see it, there's very minimal wear. This is where I usually get the most wear, is right where I toe off. And some of the little stippling and hash marks have been worn down right in the toe off area. But you can see that all these cross lines are still intact, and actually have almost 130 miles on these now, because the time it took me to get to doing this video, and I run in the shoe quite a bit. And then the same in the heel. I don't tend to put a terrible amount of wear on my heel, except a little bit right here when I'm going down hills, or if my dog is taking off after some squirrel or other dog or something like that. So then I do have to brake pretty hard. So I haven't had any issues running on wet pavement. I don't feel the same bite on the pavement that I get from Puma Grip, but it seems like it's doing a solid job, and it's got a decent outsole traction pattern and quite a decent amount of rubber coverage for a very lightweight shoe. How's the ride? The rocker profile works really well. I get a nice roll through. Despite how firm the midsole is, the cushioning feels protective, even if I'm coming down with some force. So if I want to run with like a sort of light touch, shuffling kind of gait, I can do that because of the rocker profile, and it just rolls me right forward. If I want to come down with force, because I think the firmness of the foam, that it doesn't compress that much, so it gives me enough protection. I never feel like I'm bottoming out. And also because the lightweight of the shoe, that if I want to go like a quicker cadence, there's nothing that prevents me from turning over my feet as quickly as I'd like to. So what do I like? It's reasonably comfortable, has a very nice roll through, and I would predict very good durability, both in the foam and in the on the outsole. I think Andy from the FOD Runner said that he got about 400 miles out of his first uh, pair of the Hyperion Max, and he is a big guy. He's like 6'6" and 180 pounds. So if he's getting 400 miles out of it before the midsole gives out, I would predict that I'll probably get no less than 500 to 600 miles. Um, what do I dislike? The foam could be a little softer, just for comfort, and maybe gusset the tongue. And then, if you're buying full retail, it retails for 170 bucks, and I think that's a little bit too much. And I'll get into that in just a moment. So, what are the alternatives? So, Brooks has positioned the Hyperion Max as a high performance trainer uh, along the lines of the Endorphin Speed, the Boston 12, the Mach X, that kind of thing. But I don't think that's really where it belongs. And I think that Brooks knows that too. At least now they do. It's really a lightweight daily trainer comparable to the Hoka Mach series, the Adidas Adios, the New Balance Rebel, the Asics Noosa Tri, or the Topo Cyclone. Brooks has the Hyperion, so there's the Hyperion Max, and then they also have the Hyperion, which is a lower stacked shoe, formerly called the Hyperion Tempo, and for 2024, they're totally, number one, they're reformulating their DNA Flash as a supercritical, I think it's TPU EVA or TPE EVA blend that is supposed to be lighter, softer, and more responsive. So they said it's going to be softer, but not soft. So that sounds good. The Hyperion 2, which is their lower stacked model, seems like it's going to be almost identical to the current Hyperion Max, except for that they'll be using the DNA Flash version 2, and it will be priced at $140, whereas the Hyperion Max 2 will be priced at $180, but that one will become more of a high stacked, plated trainer, more in line with shoes like the Endorphin Speed or the Boston 12. And I think that's where it belongs. That's where this shoe belongs, is compared to these lightweight trainers. I always ask, would I wear these to work at the hospital? I might. They're very comfortable on foot. I do question whether they're too firm to stand on those hard floors for 12 hours. So that's something that as I get closer to like 300, 500 miles on them, that I'll probably be asking myself a little bit more. Would I buy them again? I might, if they weren't changing the midsole combination so drastically, because I'd really like to try the Flash, DNA Flash version 2. That sound, I'll wait for some of the other reviewers to comment on that, some of the people that get the early releases, or possibly something like the Topo Cyclone 2 or the Topo Spectre 2, both of which, the Spectre 2 is not out yet, but that one, the Cyclone and the Spectre, will both have full P-backs midsoles with no plate. And I've never tried a P-back shoe before, so I'm kind of curious. That's supposed to be top of the line foam, and the thing is, I do enjoy running in this shoe, and at $65, it was an actual steal. So I think that's about it. Thank you for watching. If you're considering the Hyperion Max, hope I've given you some valuable information. The Hyperion Max 2, I think, is supposed to be coming out around July or August, somewhere like that. The Hyperion Elite 4, which is the first shoe to come out with the DNA Flash version 2, which is their Brooks actual racing shoe, is already available on their website. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment if you have any questions, thoughts, or suggestions. And I will see you next time. All right, thanks.